We scoured the world for the best skiers and snowboarders, and now they join us here to compete for their place at the Olympic Winter Games Pyeongchang 2018. Welcome to the steep road to the Olympics Grand Final! Steep Road to the Olympics is developed by Ubisoft and is the official license game of the Olympic Winter Games Pyeongchang 2018. Over 200,000 people entered, and now the best 6 downhill skiers and slopestyle boarders in the world are going to compete here for their place at the Winter Olympic Games.
My name is Mudgeballs. I'll be hosting the show here from the desk, and alongside me, I'm going to have Mitch and I'm going to have Nick. Now, gentlemen, this has been a long time coming, and you are looking the part coming onto the broadcast.
Thank you, you as well. And yeah, it's something we started as a YouTube video, just doing some commentary over people's runs, and now we're here at the grand finals, so it's incredible.
How the tournament is going to be structured. Now, the way that this works is we have 2 different events. We have downhill skiing and we have slopestyle snowboarding. Now, those are 2 quite different sports coming on in. Obviously, one skiing, one snowboarding, but we're going to have the same 6 players on both sports, 3 of which specialize in the skiing and 3 of which specialize in the snowboarding. They'll be split into 2 groups, A and B, and both groups will compete on both sports. Now, as we get on through the day, we'll start off with Group A on the downhill skiing, but only two of the players from Group A will be able to progress into the finals for skiing, and the same with Group B. So at the end of the day, we will have 4 players for either sports moving on from their respective groups, and then we'll be deciding who is going to be taking home a ticket to the opening ceremony. Boys, that is one heck of a prize to be walking away with. We're literally playing Road to the Olympics, and this tournament is their Road to the Olympics.
Yeah, this is the final stop on that road for these competitors, and they know it. The energy on that stage is electric today. You could feel it whenever we were going down to talk to them in between some runs.
Yeah, and we were talking a little bit to the players, a couple of them getting some butterflies stepping onto the stage, you know, in front of a live audience, when these guys, they've been training in their bedrooms, you know. This is a huge step up when you're getting onto the slope.
Yeah, if you have the lights shining in your eyes, fans cheering or hoping you crash, a lot of fans love to watch that, you know. They're a little bit on edge for this competition.
Absolutely. It's about time that we take a look at the players that are going to be competing across the course of today, starting off with Group A. Now, this will be the group that starts things off on the downhill skiing, but they will also go last when it comes to the snowboarding. We'll start off by talking about the German contender. It's Luktos.
Yeah, he's one of the newer players out of this group. Most of them have been playing since the beta. He came in a month or 2 after that, but don't let that hold him back. He absolutely loves these speed events, and he's been setting some pretty good times on the downhill runs.
But the next in Group A is going to be Obsen, the Dutch player coming in.
Yes, Obsen, he is ready for the downhill competition. He is ready to take his speed and show us what he can do. He is calm, collected, and he can focus easily in front of a crowd, so I think we're going to see some great things from him.
Absolutely. And then our final North American player here in Group A is going to be Cinematic.
Yeah, he's looking more towards competing in the slopestyle competition. That's his specialty, but that might play in his favor here since he's going to take all the risks he can to try and beat the other 2.
Let's take a look at Group B as well, though. The other half of our contenders coming on in, starting off with Snix up at the top there. He's going to be coming in strong from Norway.
So we're starting off with Snix. He is a high-score hunter. He is a competitor at heart, and he always loves to go in every single night and find the high scores that he has lost through the day and reclaim them as his own.
Yeah, absolutely. Wanting to top those leaderboards. We'll see if he can top the leaderboard here on the stage. Next, our North American player is Bone Crusher, currently holding the best time in the world at downhill.
Yeah, he's holding the best time at 1 minute 55 seconds and about 4/10 of a second after that. He came in originally as a wingsuit player, but he set all of the world records on that. He's used to getting as close as he can to the edge without going overboard and setting record times.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a speed demon. That
yeah.
has to be said about this player. He's going to be coming in strong. And finally, we round out the group with another Norwegian player. It's going to be Eseba down at the bottom, stepping forward. It's about time that we meet the players, so I'm going to pass it back down to Matt Andrews on the stage to meet our 6 contenders.
Thank you, Mitch, Nick, and Joe. Yes, indeed. Great information about all of those, but now we need to meet them in person. Please welcome the competitors.
believe Luctos is getting ready, putting his headphones on. Now, he opted not to have his own personal music. You will see some of the competitors will have other wires hanging down from the side to their faces to focus so they don't hear anything out in that studio. So here we go, Luctos is beginning his run.
Yeah, it's awesome to see they get to wear their country's kits on their body too. They're wearing the German flag since he comes from there. And as you see the riders going down the hill here, they're allowed to go outside of those blue lines on the track as long as they come back in and make it in between those gates.
Coming down to the fast part of the track, keeping it very clean through this long right turn with a quick cutting left into the second to last jump.
That is always the trouble one for me. I always take the wrong turn going off the jump, so they're always preparing. He knows that's a left turn coming up, where exactly he needs to hit that jump so he can maintain that speed.
Right. Doing very well on that sharp right. You're always going to lose some speed on that one. The final jump, which you can do nothing about the air time, but he's going to come in at 158. Coming in wonderfully with that first blue gate. Now into the first left-hand turn. Playing it very close to those poles.
First split time should be coming up here in just a second. We'll see what sort of pace he's on.
Oh, just a little wide on that turn.
It looked like he was going off track on that hill, but that might have been his strategy. He almost never left the ground on that jump. Put him that 1/10 of a second ahead. The current leader, Obsden. So we'll see how he can maintain the speed.
And let's see if he can perfect his run here at the very end. A wonderful run for a player who says that slopestyle is his main competition.
And I think he's going to, yeah, it's going to be extremely close. Cinematic actually made it through there. It looks like three hundredths of a second or 30 hundredths of a second. That's
so Luctos not making it through.
Yeah.
So that's going to be unfortunate for him as he was gunning for the downhill. So interestingly, one of our slopestyle contenders already stepping up to the plate and showing that they're not just a one-trick pony coming on in here.
Here we go. This is Snicks.
Yeah, he is locked in on this race and going extremely fast so far. Full tuck position, and he's going to take this first jump. Got pretty high on that one, actually, yeah. And as you see, that's almost like the screen goes black for a second. That means you had a rough landing. That actually does affect your speed.
He is trying to set the precedent and set the bar high for the world record holder coming directly after him. This is the speed section, but he is looking a little slow on time. We'll have to see.
Here we go. Looks like he's
No, excuse me. He's going to have
the fastest time so far today.
We're getting ready for the person that we should all be watching. The world record holder for downhill in steep, Bone Crusher, is ready for his run.
This is going to be a very impressive run to watch.
I have never heard somebody study video games as hard as Bone Crusher has leading up to this event. He was originally a wingsuiter and a rocket wingsuiter in the game. So he does love speed, and he's used to quick turns and ducks and dodges. Now you can see Bone Crusher coming into that jump there, just clipping the edge of the blue paint. He knows exactly where he needs to be, and that was a textbook jump.
Yes, he's also about 0.2 of a second ahead of Snicks so far. So he just has to keep up this pace, and he can actually make it through to the final, which, of course, everyone's hoping. I do want to see a world record shattered today, and that would happen in the finals when every rider here is pushing their absolute hardest.
These men know that they are on the world stage and that everyone who loves these events is watching.
Well, we'll see. He's coming down to the final section, 157, 158.
Again, you can see the disappointment in Bone Crusher's face. He clearly did not do what he wanted to do on that run. Another slopestyle specific runner, but as we've seen, the two slopestyle competitors have had the best runs.
I think it is that case of they don't care as much about this event, so they're going all out, because if they mess up, they still have their fault, the event that they're stronger at. Now, as we watch this one, we'll be seeing...
Early on, Iseba is done. He does not qualify. He does not go on. Wow.
We've got to talk about Bone Crusher there. The relief on his face when we saw the DNF coming out from our Norwegian player there. That, honestly, the devastation to start off with, and then afterwards, the relief on his face once we saw that DNF come on through was a roller coaster of emotion.
Yeah, that's
it'll be interesting to see how this group competes in the finals.
We also have Bone Crusher in the group. In downhill, you expect him to put up big scores. Obviously, bit of an unfortunate score coming in. You could see that on his face. But now going over to Slopestyle.
He misses that rail, though. That's really going to cost him. That second rail, too.
Now he maintains, he just got to the ×4 multiplier, which is going to be good. Coming in with speed here, kind of bypassing a lot of these rails with more speed than we've been seeing. Just grabbing the edge of that cannon rail here. Bone Crusher is getting ready to go here shortly, getting into the zone, trying to come back from his not as impressive downhill run.
He knows the same strategies that the pros in Slopestyle are using, and he might be able to move on to that one. He'll be in both events again at the end.
Coming in, making sure he's hitting this rail as slowly as he can, just landing on the edge of that rail.
That is the slowest rail we've seen so far today, so he's going to get huge points coming off of that second jump. It is hard to control which rail you're going to land on next, but they are the professionals at this, so a lot of them will be making it. Here we go. He's going to land this trick going into the final 3 jumps at 33,000. He's very close to Iseba's run right there.
Pulling out a triple cork. That's going to be some big points for him.
Here we go. I think if he lands this, he might be in the clear. 41,000. Just has to play it somewhat safe on this jump, and he will move on. There we go. We saw
45,000.
Yeah, he's extremely excited with that one. He is happy, and he's elated. He gets to go to both of these events. So even if downhill doesn't work out, he still has that chance to go to the Olympics in his off event.
Snix is up next, and we're looking for a fantastic run from Snix. He is flying high above all of the rest of the competition in this game. And you can clearly tell he is maximizing every single inch out of every part of his run.
There we go. And even when a player falls like that, if they stumble, as long as they don't completely fall down, it won't affect their points or their multipliers. So they'll be maximizing every flip they can get when they come off of these rails. And he will land on that pipe rail, that tricky one we've seen lots of players, and that is where everyone seems to head.
The little lip at the end will give him just enough time to pull off one more nose grab before he heads into these big jumps.
He's looking safe in his score right now, of course, but he just has to land these final few jumps, 42,000.
On the first jump, he lands a quadruple rodeo.
And I think the triple rodeo right there. And he is safe at 46,000, but he's got 2 more tricks left just for some flair in this round. I told you 52,000. He sees those scores, and there we go. One final celebration trick before he crosses the finish line.
This is him showing the competition that he is here for the medal.
This is one of those events where everyone is a professional, and that multiplier matters. If you don't get it, it's impossible to catch up to them. So,
and I know for a fact that Snix is looking to beat that score. He is not going to be just okay with 52,000. His high score is 57, so we haven't even scratched the surface on what he could do. Okay, Cinematic getting ready for his run, and here we go. Coming in with some speed up to the first rail, but immediately halting himself to maximize his time on that rail, just like in Group B.
Yeah, he almost fell off that rail, too. He got pretty close to the edge. He's going to land that first jump, has the 3 times multiplier, has to get it up here on the next one, though. Came close to the edge, but he is slowing down.
I have to believe that he knows exactly what he's doing. It might look like he is faltering here and there, coming close to edges, just almost falling off of a rail, but I'd like to think that he knows exactly what he's doing, and he is not nervous down there during this run. If you can't do a trick on the final hill, that's it. You won't get points on that quadruple rodeo or whatever you may do.
Yeah, there's lots to think about. You're focused on your grinds, you're focused on flips, grabs, landing right, and your trick management. Did it right there, 47,000. Loves to have some style going across the finish line. That puts him ahead of almost everyone except Snix for right now, but only has to worry about that in the final event because these scores won't matter.
Next, we're going to have Obson. And again, Obson is going to be, I believe he will be giving us a very stylish run, something fun to see.
Will be interesting.
Not that the fastest points, yes, and he has chosen to go a different path than the others. Coming in with a lot of speed, so some big air, some fast rails.
We're going to see some awesome trick style right there.
He's doing this for the fans. He wants them to be entertained and to be pleased with his run.
This is his trick that he loves. He was talking about this earlier. This transfer from the side ramp, gets onto that last pipe and holds a nice double grab right there. And lands it too. That was a 1440 truck driver. You don't see competitors hold the truck driver grab, but it is very stylish.
Right, you will often see rodeos, nose grabs, tweaks, but here he just pulled off a quadruple backflip.
Right there, and he spun around right there.
Oh, beautiful.
Cork 540.
Beautiful for the eyes. He's going to finish with 8 tricks left, but I don't think he's bothered. That was a fun run to watch.
It is always a fun run to watch.
I believe he's ready to go, preparing for his run.
And here we go. Luctos, as we mentioned, doesn't prefer this event, but he does know the route that the other people take, so he'll be sticking pretty close to it till he knows he makes it through into the Slopestyle finals. Then he might have a little bit of fun with it since he knows he can't be safe.
Not coming out of that first feature with the biggest multiplier that he could, but it might be enough. We'll have to see for the rest of his run. Coming now into the final 2 rails before his big jumps. He's just going to miss. Oh, he's going to miss both of the rails.
Tried hard to get on. 3rd time's a charm, though, and he's got these final 3 jumps, maybe to show off some flair.
Right, with 4 tricks left, he has plenty of time to get his score where it needs to be and where he wants it to be. The ×4 multiplier is active, and here the final jump going to come out with, tries to go for a quadruple, but just misses it.
So less of a performance, but we are going to see Luctos at least making it into the finals for one of the 2 events.
Right, and you could see by his modest smirk at the end of his run, even with that wipeout, he knows that he's safe. He knows what he needs to do now moving towards the finals. I think we're going to see a cleaner run from him moving forward.
Do you have someone that you feel is maybe ahead of the crowd, or a couple of players that you feel like are the 2 top contenders here?
I think going into this event, I was very confident that Bone Crusher was going to be able to pull out, just like Snicks has been doing, he was going to be pulling out these wonderful runs, and not sure finishing his qualifying run if he's going to be able to keep up with Snicks. But with all of the preparation that he's been putting towards downhill, I think I would love to see him just blow away his old record and take home a new record and the gold.
And I'm excited to see whether Cinematic can pull that one off as we jump on into this one. It's about time that we got our finals for downhill underway. So once again, I'm going to pass it over to you 2, and I'm going to let you take away with our finals.
This is the time. Cinematic is fighting for his ticket to the opening ceremony of the Winter Olympics. This is the run. This is the final attempt to win this competition.
I also do expect him to take several risks in this, since this is his safer event.
Coming in fast, making sure that every time he is straight, he has that stick pushed forward so his player is in the crouch. That will maximize his speed, getting so close to those gates. But as we saw with Iseba in the qualifiers, if you are just an inch, if you are just a few centimeters off, that's it.
And you're going so fast, it's a split decision. One mistake and it's completely over. Coming into the final downhill section, only a few turns left to go.
Maintaining control through these wide sweeping turns is very important for time. Coming into the final jump now.
Looks like he's pretty consistent with his last time that he set. Beat it by just a little bit, 158 this time. Last time 159, so improved by 1 second.
Probably not the fastest run that Cinematic wanted to get, as he knows that Bone Crusher and Snicks are coming up next, not to mention Obson.
And here we go, there's a second rider. We've got Obson going down, who put down a 158 in the first run. And he wasn't taking as many risks either, so hopefully this is his event. Maybe he can be the sleeper that comes through and actually takes down that top time. Little too much airtime
on that jump, but he has come out of the gate like a bullet. He is firing down this mountain.
They have to maintain their speed. He is ahead right now, but he also might be trying to do math in his head to see how much of a pace he could go on to.
2 green runs, he's looking great. It's never a nerve-wracking thing to see green on that screen. Just getting as close to every single gate as he can. Landing that jump beautifully, just enough time in the air.
Yeah, he's a full second ahead now, which actually puts him in contention with Snicks in that run, the guy everyone expects to win. It is going to come down almost to the second, maybe even a thousandth of a second for this final. He's just got 1 turn left, handled that excellently, and the jump, he is going to cross at 157.585, so right around the same as his last time.
Right, but again, he did get a faster time than Cinematic. So that puts him, in the lead as of now.
Yeah, and pushing too hard in this.
Right, and we're looking now at the 2 fastest men in the qualifying runs and through all of their practice runs. Bone Crusher is up now, looking to redeem himself from the it wasn't a terrible run in the qualifying, but for his standards, I know he is cursing at himself and beating himself up for that run.
Yeah, hopefully he can just block all of that out. Once again, he's got the tunes going in his ears. He is focused. He is looking great as he goes through these flags. We'll see what the split times come out as, though, because if he sees some red, he's going to have to push even harder in the final section.
He is as focused as you can get.
He is flying around these corners, too. He actually has picked up the pace, and he's getting closer to these flags. Wait for the next time. This is going to be an extremely close one. And there he is. He's in the green. He's ahead by 0.3 of a second. So he's starting to creep up on one of the faster times that we've seen today.
Right, and you have to question if he knew that that first run and that first time was going to be slower. He might be planning all of this. He might know something that we don't.
Yeah, we'll see.
As close to every single gate as he can.
And he's getting very close to those.
Wow.
Here comes the final turn. It is going to be a close call. I don't know what's going to happen.
Can he do it? Coming in
And
close, and it looks like, yes, he is.
He is. He
standing up in celebration. Wow.
He is elated at that. He got under that 1:57, the first rider today to get under 1 minute 57 seconds. Bone Crusher was close to those gates. He was getting, especially in the downhill when he knew he was behind, he got closer to those gates. Same thing's probably going to happen here with Snicks. He is a huge competitor, so we'll see what he can manage. He's just starting up, going down the hill.
Okay, here we go with Snicks. The fastest time in qualifiers.
Yes.
And the highest score in the slopestyle competition.
Yeah,
Let's see what he can do here.
Held the record in the slalom, as you mentioned, the qualifiers. So
starting out with a rough landing there, that's going to dock a couple of milliseconds, but he might be able to make it back up.
Yeah, as we saw, the Bone Crusher made up a whole second after the first split time, so it is extremely possible as long as he can stay in contention. Very close to that gate right there. Here we're coming up with the first time to see how he's...
Oh no! Snicks wipes out on a gate early on in the track.
And that's it.
What a phenomenal moment there for Bone Crusher, managing to take it in the end. Not the world record, but definitely a phenomenal time. Fastest time we saw for the entire weekend on downhill, doing it in style, and you could see the emotion on his face. That winning moment when he stood up and cheered at his desk, that was when you knew that he was happy with his result.
Yeah, it's crazy to watch, especially it's everything we hoped for. He was up and down on the split time. He was behind, then he was ahead, then he was behind. Last second crossing the finish line, managed to break that score.
That was an incredible run by all four of them. Robin, Snicks not coming out with the run that he wanted to, but it happens.
Yeah, and it's not really his event either. So
right.
He still has his slopestyle with, doesn't get the sweep of the events that everyone thought would happen, but we'll see if he can handle it in the slopestyle.
Our champion of the downhill event at the Steep Road to the Olympics Grand Final, Alexander Hirschberger, Bone Crusher!
Bone Crusher managing to take it in the end. Phenomenal stuff coming out from him, and you can see the elation on his face off the back of that victory. But let's talk about the rest of the competition as well, because there are definitely some powerful contenders in that lineup.
Yeah, definitely. Snicks is going to have all eyes on him coming forward with, again, we're going to keep saying it, he's the world record holder. He has pushed this course to its limit, so hopefully he's going to be able to provide today and push it even further.
I'm curious to see our two American players there, both 5,000 and 7,000 points behind Snicks respectively. Are they going to be able to close that gap onto the Norwegian player? Because 7,000 points, that's quite a lot when the run is only up to about 50,000 on average.
I wouldn't be surprised if it went either way. I wouldn't be surprised if all four were very close in their scores, pulling out the biggest, best runs that they can. But I also wouldn't be surprised to see Snicks, even though those people are stepping up their game, when he steps his up, he's already above the rest of the competition. Okay, we are ready for the final 4 competitors in the slopestyle.
He's looking in pretty good position compared to some of the other riders earlier.
That is very dangerous what he is doing there with his stopping. A lot of the competitors like Snicks, Iseba, and Cinematic are all doing the turnaround, the little 180 turnarounds, because there is almost no chance that they're going to stop. Coming in a little rough on the second to last jump here, and his final jump of the day will be a triple backflip seatbelt. And another rodeo nose grab.
He's going to use up those last couple of tricks
Make
here.
sure he doesn't stop.
Probably just across the finish line. Lands at 33,600. So right on par with this first run that he had.
Right. The stakes are high. The pressure on that stage has to be immense right now.
And here we go. We got Bone Crusher coming up next. Already won his ticket to the Olympics, but he could go for all the glory and try and take both events. So nice and slow here on the first rail.
Starts off with a triple cork. Looking nice coming off the right of that jump. Big air with another triple cork. Let's see if he goes for another triple or if he tries for 4. He's going to get 3 triple corks in a row, followed by the remainder of his mini tricks before he reaches the finish line.
Let's go, does it across. He had that one trick left, but at the same time, he could have wiped out using it before the finish gate. So went for the safe route, got 42,000 points.
So we're going to get ready to see Cinematics run here in just a second.
We'll see those turnaround moves now from the 2 professionals that love slopestyle. Going nice and slow into this rail with the nose press spinning all the way. He's confident in this section. Gets a great flip off of it too. Almost 7,000, which is the highest we have seen on that first feature set here in the finals.
Right, getting a huge boost already. He's going to reach that multiplier super fast, and there it is, that ×4. Super important when you're looking at the numbers. It's going to be very close between all of the competition, I believe.
Yeah, and here we go. He's going to go into the 3rd feature set.
A little bit more speed than we've been seeing.
Just got to land on this pole right here. Got it easily, so he's got to get a flip. Oh, he's going to...
Oh, no! With losing your speed that close to these jumps, it's very difficult to make that speed up to get the big air that you need on this final jump to pull out a big quadruple with tons of points.
There we go. He lands the final jumps, falls again on the mini tricks. Not that it would matter too much. He was getting back into the score, though. He's at 37,000. That beats Luctose's run in this, who had no wipeouts. So he was able to build that multiplier back up, cross the finish line with 38,000.
38,000, not a terrible score. Finished with 2 tricks remaining. Snicks is preparing for what could be the best run that we have ever seen in slopestyle in RTTO.
And we'll see what happens here. Of course, if he does this run like normal, he may know whether or not he won by the final 2 jumps. And there we go. 6,000 on
Not as much as Cinematic.
Not as much.
But he still has a ton of time. So
nice
coming in now.
We got a nice flip onto that rail too, getting all of the spins. Gonna have a huge air off of that rail too, so he is working his way up the scoreboard. He almost did wipe out there too. It looked like he went for a mini trick, last second realized he didn't have the air, so was able to save himself, keep that multiplier active. He just has to land a few more jumps right here, and he can make his way to the Olympics. So we are up to 42,000. One more jump should solidify it for him. He has to beat 44,000 points. Lands it, 48,000 points, so now it's just for the glory. He has officially won the slopestyle event. He just has to cross the finish line. 53,000, he's pushing it higher and higher. If he gets up to the 54, that's close to the highest run we've seen this entire week, and we knew he could do it. Just as we expected, Snicks was able to win the slopestyle event.
And the champion here at the steep road to the Olympics Grand Final and attending the Olympic Winter Games Pyeongchang 2018 from Norway, Smix Robin Westingen. this has been the Steep Road to the Olympics Grand Final. Steep Road to the Olympics, of course, developed by Ubisoft and is the official licensed game of the Olympic Winter Games Pyeongchang 2018. Thank you to everybody who took part in qualifiers to be here, to our incredible 6 competitors who've given us such amazing action on both downhill and slopestyle. Most of all, congratulations to Smix and to Bone Crusher, who will both be attending the Olympic Winter Games Pyeongchang 2018. Thank you to everybody involved in our production. Thanks to you for watching, and enjoy the Winter Olympics when they come to you from Pyeongchang. Congratulations again.